morning children, for standard 10. We are going to continue with the endocrine system. Today we are going to study about the pituitary gland. And you know the pituitary gland is one of the most important gland because this particular gland is called the master gland. In the last class I told you pituitary gland is controlled itself by the hypothalamus with the help of the secretion of certain neurohormones. So we call this pituitary gland as a master gland because it controls all other endocrine glands. Okay. So the hormones that are secreted from the pituitary glands are called the trophic hormones. T-R-O-P-H-I-C. So these hormones are called the trophic hormones. Now the pituitary gland, we have three parts: the posterior pituitary, the pars distalis. This is the pars anterior or the anterior pituitary, and there is a middle lobe of the pituitary which we call this part is the middle lobe of the pituitary. Now the function of the pituitary we'll study from the anterior pituitary what are the hormones secreted. So you can see this TSH is secreted from this. The TSH is called the thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay. So the thyroid stimulating hormone, the TSH, controls the thyroid gland. You know, thyroid gland secretes thyroxine and thyrocalcitonin. So the TSH increases or decreases according to the concentration of the thyroxine in the blood. If thyroxine is less, then it sends a message to the pituitary gland to secrete more TSH so that the increase in the number of the thyroxine can take place from the thyroid gland. The second hormone is called the ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. The function of the adrenocorticotropic hormone is controlling the adrenal cortex. You know, the adrenal cortex secretes the hormones such as the glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids and the sex corticoids or the androgens. So the ACTH hormone actually controls your adrenal cortex. The third hormone is called the LH, or what we call the luteotropic hormone. Okay, and the LH usually it helps in the function of the corpus luteum mainly. PRL is the prolactin or the LTH or the luteotropic hormone. It helps in secretion of milk after pregnancy in the lactating mothers. So PRL usually is secreted to increase the production of the milk in lactating mothers or after the birth of the child. There is another hormone called the GH or the growth hormone or the somatotropic hormone. The function of the growth hormone is to give growth to the human body. Usually they help in the growth of the longitudinal bones. So this is also called somatotropic hormone. So it is also controlled by the hypothalamus by the somatostatin and the somatocrinin, which are the neurohormones. Then you have the FSH, which is in case of females the follicle stimulating hormone, which helps in the formation of the Graafian follicle and the ovulation, which helps in secretion of estrogen, particularly in case of woman from the ovary. In ICSH is actually the counterpart of the FSH in case of male, and ICSH or interstitial cell stimulating hormone. This hormone helps in the functioning of the interstitial cells or the Leydig cells to form the hormone testosterone in case of male, which gives the secondary sexual characters and also the formation of the sperms. So these are the main hormones which are secreted from the anterior pituitary. Now we have to study that some of the disorders which can occur due to hyper or hyposecretion. Hypersecretion means more secretion which causes problem in the human body, and hyposecretion is less secretion which causes also problem in the human body. So we'll study one growth hormone, the GH. You know, the GH or the somatotropic hormone, if it is secreted less from the birth, then it leads to pituitary dwarfism. And in pituitary dwarfs, you will see they do not have longitudinal growth, but they have lateral growth. So you will see they have a stunted growth, and that is what we call the pituitary dwarfism. And if it is secreted more from childhood, okay, if the GH is secreted more from childhood, it leads to gigantism. You will see there are giants with height of about 6 feet 5 inches or 7 feet 8 feet height. This is more secretion of the growth hormone. But this is from childhood. If this growth hormone, sometimes it occurs that in adult also it is secreted. When they grow after the childhood, when they attain adulthood, that time if it is secreted more, then they suffer from a disorder which is called acromegaly. In acromegaly people, the height is not much, but the face or the jawbone is very wide, and they have wider hands, the palms of the hand and the palms of, and the feet. They are they are elongated or larger than the normal people. That is acromegaly, which are caused due to oversecretion of growth hormone after childhood is during the adulthood. Now we'll go to the middle lobe of the pituitary. This is called the melanocyte stimulating hormone, though it is not there in your course. But MSH helps in secretion of the melanocyte, which usually causes the pigmentation of the skin. Okay, so that is the MSH secreted from the middle lobe. From the posterior lobe of the pituitary, there are two very important hormones. One is called the vasopressin or the antidiuretic hormone. You know this particular hormone or the vasopressin or the antidiuretic hormone, what it does, it helps in reabsorption of the water from the kidney tubules. That means when the glomerular filtrate is passing through the kidney tubules, much of the water is taken. You know, the 70% of the water is taken up by the PCT and also by the DCT, somehow by the DCT and the loop of Henle. Now this uptake of the water is taken by this help of this hormone called vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. Now if this vasopressin is secreted less, then what happens is that the diuresis is more, the water remains in the urine more than it should remain. Urine volume in a whole day is 1.5 liters. But if the ADH is secreted less, then the urine volume increases. The amount of water, the urine becomes dilute, and that dilute urine causes a disorder which we call diabetes insipidus or water diabetes. Generally it occurs in the old age. So that is about vasopressin or the ADH. And of course, if it is secreted more, then water reabsorption will be more than normal. It happens particularly, this regulation helps in keeping the water concentration or the osmotic concentration of the body normal. And you will see that in summer, the water in the urine is less, urine is concentrated, and in case of cloudy days, the urine volume is also dilute. That occurs due to this particular hormone. There is a hormone called oxytocin also, or pitocin. This is secreted from the posterior pituitary. This helps in the relaxation, or what we call during the contraction of the uterus during the childbirth. And of course oxytocin also helps in the secretion of milk in a lactating mothers. When the baby suckles the nipple of the mother, this oxytocin releases and the milk is secreted from the milk gland, which helps in the release of the milk. So that is one of the functions of the oxytocin. So this is all about the pituitary that we have studied today. In the next class, we are going to study about the other endocrine gland, which is the thyroid gland, and then we have to study about the pancreas and the adrenal gland. So I'll just give you a preliminary thing about the thyroid gland. This thyroid gland is located just above this cartilage in the neck, what we call the just above the Adam's apple. And this thyroid gland is an H-shaped gland, and this is the largest single endocrine gland. Now the thyroid gland is actually, if you see the thyroid gland, this thyroid gland is located just in the neck region above the larynx. This is the H-shaped gland like this, and opposite, just on the reverse side of the thyroid gland, there is the presence of this 4 parathyroid gland. Though parathyroid gland is not in your course, but we have to study about this particular gland, which is the thyroid gland. So this thyroid gland is mainly secretion of the thyroxine, and thyroxine helps in our body metabolism, in maintaining the BMR. It also helps in the sexual maturity, the physical maturity, and also helps in developing of our mental faculty. So we are going to take up this in the next class. Thank you very much for the hearing, and please stay safe and study. If you have any question, you can put up the question. Thank you very much.